Brad? He wants to get his suit put on.
Oh, the official meeting suit now.
Yeah.
Technically, we still have 1 minute.
He's the opening act.
I know.
Right.
The warm-up act.
Did he go the wrong way?
I don't know.
You may be lost.
He's coming into circus entrance.
I thought you got lost.
Oh, we thought you wanted
We'll
to
have to
change.
send the township police out to find you.
Yeah. We thought you wanted to put your suit on.
Okay. Okay, hello. Good evening, everyone. My name is Brad Gottschall. I am the Lower Paxton Township Manager. And in typical fashion, I'm just going to give a brief summary of tonight's meeting before we begin, particularly for the benefit of those who may be watching at home this evening. Jumping on the agenda to new business, the board will take action on to award a bid for the sale of a vacant parcel of land owned by the township known as the Buchanan Tract. Next, the board will authorize the chairman of the board to execute a letter engaging the services of Sienna Law to negotiate an intermunicipal agreement. After this, the board will ratify an agreement of sale allowing for the purchase of necessary land related to the Locust Lane and Fairmont Drive traffic signal project. And lastly, under new business, before taking action on improvement guarantees and the payment of township and authority bills, the board will consider 3 separate subdivision and land development plans, one for the estates of Union Deposit, one a private property at 2395 Patton Road, and one being the Blue Ridge Village Phase 2. And with all that said, the members of the board are seated and prepared to conduct business. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gottschall. We'll call this meeting of the Lower Paxton Township Board of Supervisors to order. I'd like to ask everyone to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Supervisor Lindsay.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll now move to approval of minutes for the meeting of October 13th, 2020, budget meeting minutes and workshop meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from October 13th, 2020 for the budget and the workshop meeting.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Before we proceed to public comment, I would like to announce that prior to this meeting, the Board of Supervisors did meet in executive session to discuss a number of legal issues, and we'll be meeting again following this meeting. With that, it's now time for public comment. Public comment is the time on the agenda for anybody who would like to address the board on an item not on the agenda this evening. If you would like to discuss an item that's on the agenda, we'll have a time for public comment at that point. So would anyone like to address the board? Okay, seeing none. We'll now move to chairman and board member comments. Board members, do we have any comments this evening?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Navarro and Mr. Zumas and myself represented the board last night at the Council of Governments. We had a speaker from Polco, which is communication with residents. So we've turned everything over to Mr. Gottschall so he can take care of it, and Leanne, and look into it for us.
Any other board members' comments? Seeing none, manager's report. Mr. Gottschall.
Yes, sir. Members of the board, thank you very much. I have 2 items this evening. So as it does actually quite graciously each year, the Alexander Boyd and Jane Stark Boyd Foundation has provided $15,000 in grant funding to the Lower Paxton Township volunteer fire companies, $5,000 each to Colonial Park, Legalstown, and Paxtonia. The donations are specified for the use of equipment, and I'm sure will be put to good use by those companies indeed. On behalf of the fire companies, I want to thank the Boyd Foundation for their continued generosity.
Thanks.
Yes. Secondly, my office is in receipt of a very nice certificate of appreciation from the U.S. Census Bureau, recognizing Lower Paxton Township as an invaluable member of the 2020 Census Community Partnership and Engagement Program. I continue to keep tabs on when we may expect an official release of data collected during those efforts for 2020. Typically, I'm told that we should start seeing data by the spring, but some deadlines towards the end of last year were missed, and therefore a delay may be imminent in terms of the release of the data. I have a meeting on the 25th of this month to get some more information on when we may be expecting some of that data to be released. So hopefully soon, but then we can determine whether or not we've moved in any certain way in terms of our population as it relates to the ranking within the county. So I will let the board know the results of that.
And
That is all I have.
Thank you, sir. We have no old business on the agenda, so we will proceed to new business before the board. The first item of business is we need to take action to award a bid for the sale of the Buchanan track, as mentioned by Township Manager earlier. And Brad, if you would like to express what the Buchanan track is, and very good bid we got for it.
Yes, sir. So actually in 1975, the township had purchased this land from Emery and Lucinda Buchanan and Sarah Buchanan for $8,134.60, with the intention at that point that that at some point the land may be considered as part of a more comprehensive trail system within the township. And over the years, actually, it had been considered for sale due to those plans not coming to fruition. So back in October of 2020, the board had requested staff to look into the sale of this 40.673 acre vacant lot, which is north of Lingelstown Road, which has essentially been just sitting there vacant since the time the township purchased it in, again, 1975, all those decades ago. The township held a public bid opening on January 4th for the sale of this real estate, during which only one bid was received. The lowest and, again, only bid was in the amount of $140,000 from D&F Ventures, LLC of Boiling Springs, Pennsylvania. And so at this point, the bid has been received by our solicitor and seems to be in order and ready for board action this evening. As such, it is staff recommendation that the board award the bid in the amount of $140,000 to D&F Ventures, LLC.
So an $8,000 investment is yielding $140,000 on sale?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Board members, do we have any questions? Any questions from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion on the sale of the Buchanan tract?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the action to award the bid for the sale of the Buchanan tract as presented by Mr. Gottschall.
We have a motion to approve the sale of the Buchanan tract. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Now we need to go to new business, 9B, action to authorize the chairman of the board to execute an engagement letter with Sienna Law. Mr. Godshall, this would be to handle some negotiations for the authority?
Yes, sir. In terms of negotiating the intermunicipal agreement between CRW and the various municipal partners within the group, Mr. Weaver had spoken previously to the authority board in some way to discuss this engagement with the Sienna Law Group. So as you may recall, Scott Weiland actually was our previous special counsel, but now he and his firm represents CRW. So it is the recommendation of both the municipal partners and your staff here to go ahead and change a special counsel to allow us to negotiate that intermunicipal agreement moving forward. And it should be noted that Sienna Law has agreed to keep the billing rate of Scott Weiland, the previous counsel, in place for this engagement.
Board member questions on the proposed agreement? Seeing none, any public comment or question? Again, seeing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we authorize the chairman of the board to execute an engagement letter with Sienna Law as outlined by the township manager and posted on the public agenda.
So moved, is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, aye? Aye. We now have item 9C. We need to take action to ratify an agreement of sale and temporary easement for construction with the Heatherfield Community Association. This is a purchase of right-of-way so we can proceed with the installation of traffic signals at Fairmont and Locust Lane. Anything additional to that? Sort of, are we still hopeful that we're going to be able in early spring to move forward with this project? The timing is still?
Yes, the timing is still on track. I had expressed at last meeting, we had a similar motion made. I had expressed that this, at that time, was the last piece of land that we needed to purchase, and that was the last agreement. This truly is the last piece that we need, so I can assure you of that. But so yes, the schedule is very much still on track.
I know there is great public interest in getting this traffic signal installed. So in an effort to move that forward, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the ratification agreement of the sale and temporary easement for construction with Heatherfield Community Association.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded. Should we do you're on the association board?
I am on the association board. I don't know that presents
Don't get any
a
financial
conflict.
benefit from it.
No conflict of interest on?
I get absolutely no financial benefit out of it. We get a traffic light, that'll be nice. That'll
That
be a
traffic
nice
light will be
benefit.
nice. Okay. Just wanted to make sure we didn't have any,
No, thank you, I will be voting.
just came to me here all of a sudden. But, all right, good. With that, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay. Now I know on this one we're going to have an abstention. So we are now moving to subdivision and land development. Our first item of business is action on the final subdivision plan for the Estates of Union Deposit. And Mrs. Zerby, I believe this would be. Good to see you this evening.
You as well. So this is for the Estates of Union Deposit. It involves a total tract of 18.2 acres to be subdivided into 9 single-family building lots. The building lots will be served by 3 private driveways. The site is located in the residential low-density district and will be served by public sewer and private water. The plan was approved at the January 6, 2021 Planning Commission meeting, and it comes to you with 1 deferral and 4 waivers, all of which staff supports. And Tim Malat is here tonight to have any questions you may have answered.
Okay, Tim, if you would please come to the podium and provide us with any additional information that you would like.
Good evening. Tim Malat, Malat Engineering. Thank you for your time this evening. Thank you for the introduction. Just would like to mention this is an R1 zone tract of land. Ultimately, our waivers are consistent with the type of plan we're doing. Instead of doing a higher density community with 20,000 square foot lots and about 30 homes, we opted to do a large lot, low density subdivision. And I'm happy to get into any level of detail on anything, but that's really it in a nutshell. The shared driveways is one thing that we're doing to try to minimize the number of connections to Union Deposit Road. And 3 is the maximum number of homes that can be on a driveway on a PennDOT road. Otherwise, we would have pursued the 6 that is permitted through Lower Paxton Township. But again, happy to get into any detail you'd like, but that's it in a nutshell.
Tim, I just had a question. It came from the,
John Fogg?
no, from the police.
Yeah, that's,
Oh.
that's.
This public
related-
safety director.
Yes, we had extensive conversations with John, and after getting him to understand the type of plan, he's actually more appreciative, recognizing that the shared driveways are a much wider width and transition the slopes a little bit better than what would have occurred if we did individual driveways. We also had the conversations about public water, but due to the fact the public water is over 900 feet away, and then we have 1,300 feet of frontage, it just was prohibitive. And recognizing our homes are going to be 300 to 400 feet away from the road, John recognized and agreed that it just wasn't. So we have addressed John's.
So are you gonna be cutting that down, because that's right there where you come around the curve?
The slope of the hill. there.
Yeah.
We are, the one driveway connection is where the current access is. There's an access that goes back in, you can kind of see, and that's where the sewer authority uses access. The other two were strategically located that provides our maximization of the site distance that's available, and our site distances are well in excess of what's needed. Although I do recognize there is a little bit more speed there in those
Yeah.
areas, but again, we maximize and minimize the number of connections, with the project, but we have addressed John's concerns.
I'm gonna go back probably 8 or 9 years when I sat on planning commission, and the people that that have this now didn't have it. But they had talked one time about an infiltration system up there. You don't need to do that.
Infiltration from a sewer standpoint?
Yeah, I don't know if it was sewer or stormwater.
We are going to be providing public sewer. I'm not aware of,
Okay, this was
previous
way
talks,
back
right.
when
And that-
somebody else was
That
looking
goes in
at it.
conjunction with our stormwater. We're not looking for relief from doing stormwater, but just with the size of the lots, we thought it'd be more appropriate for the people that are gonna own lots to be able to coordinate with the engineers to do the types of stormwater facilities that are most suited for what they're gonna do.
And they'll all have wells.
Wells, yes, and all, we're at a 2-acre lot average, so recharge is a non-issue or any kind of
Okay,
concern in that
okay.
respect.
All right, that's all I have.
Thank you.
Any other board members' questions down this direction? No? Okay, I see no additional questions for you, Tim. That was pretty easy tonight.
It's the hardest thing for me not to ramble. I hope I didn't. That's what I got to focus on.
You focused well.
Thank you.
Okay, seeing no additional questions, is there a motion? Well, first of all, any public comment or question on this? Okay, seeing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the action on the final subdivision plan for the estates of Union Deposit, Plan Number 2020-18.
So moved, is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. We'll have a roll call vote, please.
Actually, I'm okay, because this isn't where I live.
Oh, you're okay on this one?
This is not where I live.
Okay, I know it's on the other side of
Yeah,
the
but it
road,
has nothing to do with where I live.
Oh, it doesn't? Oh, okay. Okay, well, if that's the case, then all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Have a
Thank you,
good
Tim.
evening. Thank you.
Appreciate it. We need to take action on the preliminary and final subdivision plan for 2395 Patton Road, also known as the Johnston property. And let me see if I can get up here. Well, that's sort of detailed for the screen, but Mrs. Irby.
Yes, so 2395 Patton Road proposes to subdivide Lot 2A from Lot 1 and combine it with Lot 2 as an add-on lot. Currently, Lot 1 has a total acreage of 3.42, and Lot 2 has a total area of 0.61 acres and is a legal non-conforming lot. With the addition of Lot 2A into Lot 2 will now have a total area of 0.6943 acres, and Lot 1 will be reduced to 3.34 acres. Lot 2 is in the residential low-density zoning district and will be served by on-lot sewer and private water. This plan was approved at the December 2nd, 2020 Planning Commission meeting, and they have requested 5 waivers, which are typical with this type of minor subdivision, and staff supports all the waiver requests. Anthony Trost is here if you have any questions regarding the plan.
Mr. Trost, if you would make any additional comments that you would like us to have?
Not really. Thank you, Ms. Irby. That was very well done. It's a simple add-on plan to connect a driveway which constructed on an adjoining lot with a lot containing the house.
Board members, questions? Any public question? Okay, seeing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the action on the preliminary final subdivision plan for 2395 Patton Road, the Johnston property, plan number 2020-21.
So moved, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, aye? Aye. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Very easy one tonight. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We also need to take action on the final subdivision and land development plan for Blue Ridge Village Phase 2. Mrs. Zerby.
Yes, so Phase 2 of Blue Ridge Village involves a total tract of 27.6 acres to be developed in accordance with the plan. Plan 2 will create 44 lots, 2 of which are open space lots, and 115 dwelling units. The dwelling units will consist of 41 single-family detached dwellings and 74 townhouse dwellings. This site is located in the residential retirement development and will be served by public water and sewer. It comes to you with only 4 admin comments and 4 general comments. And Matt Fisher is here if you have any questions regarding the plan.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Fisher. Any comments for us?
Good evening. Not really. Honestly, this is a pretty straightforward one for Blue Ridge. We're not changing anything from the preliminary plan, no additional waivers or anything, so I'd be happy to answer any additional questions that you may have on it.
Okay. Board members, any questions?
Is this in the area where the 30 acres are going to be donated back to the township? For the
No,
park?
this
No.
is more on the screen, the lower left-hand
Okay.
portion of the singles, and then the center section of townhouses.
Okay,
So phase 3 is the one that'll
Phase
butt
3,
up against
okay.
the 30 acres.
okay.
Was there a certain concern with that you maybe wanted us to look into when we did the phase 3 plans?
They keep advertising it as a park, and
Okay,
we're not going to, we don't have that kind of money to put a park in there.
okay.
So we're going to be mowing the grass. But
Okay.
I guess my main concern is every time I see it, it's advertised as a park. And I
You're
don't
concerned
want.
about residents coming to you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they're gonna come to us and go, wait a minute, we donated, the land was donated to you and you were supposed to put a park in. So I think it needs, I don't know if the verbiage needs to be changed or what, but you keep using the word park, and we don't have that kind of money to put
Okay.
in a park. I mean, we're gonna have to mow it and maintain it, so it might be soccer fields or something like that, but as far as park equipment, we just will not be
Gotcha.
doing that.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
make sure to pass that on
Okay.
to both
Yeah,
Triple
that's-
Crown and
that's
Ryan,
my
Ryan Homes. I'm not
concern.
sure which one it's coming from,
Right,
but
yeah.
I'll pass it on to both of
Okay.
them, just kind of give them a heads up
It just
on
seems
that.
whenever anything's advertised, it always says 30-acre park,
Okay,
so,
gotcha,
Yes.
understood.
It's really 30 acres of open space.
yeah, yeah, is what it is. Yeah, they shouldn't be using park, they should be
Yeah.
using open space, yeah. I just think it's misleading for the residents that are gonna be moving there.
Mhm.
Okay. Anybody else? Any public comment or question? Seeing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept the final subdivision and land development plan for Blue Ridge Village, Phase 2, Plan Number 2020-22.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded. Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
There you go, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you. All right. Mrs. Zerby, you've done an admirable job of filling everybody in. There are almost no questions this evening, so thank you. Yes. That now takes us to improvement guarantees, and of which we have 2. Looks very,
Routine.
thank you, very, very routine. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the improvement guarantees for Autumn Oaks, Phase 2, and Kendall Oaks, Phase 4.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
And that now takes us to payment of bills for Lower Paxton Township and the Lower Paxton Township Authority. Mr. Treasurer.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the payment of bills for Lower Paxton Township and the Lower Paxton Township Authority.
So moved. Is there a second? Second. Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye? Aye. Any additional announcements, ladies and gentlemen? Staff? Okay, our next board meeting will be a regular business meeting. Believe it or not, we'll be into the month of February already. Tuesday, February 2nd, 2021 at 7 p.m. right here in this room. With that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
What?
Oh.
Yes. We had discussed, the township actually has had, unfortunately, 3 individuals who have served our community admirably over the years pass away in recent weeks. We had Chief McLean, former at Paxtonia here. What's this, 4? Okay, who am I missing, Bill? Okay, well, we had Chief McLean, Ed Hine, Mr. Whitmer, and excuse me? Richard McNeil. And he was Lingelstown. Oh, somehow I hadn't seen that.
Neither have I.
Oh, okay. Wow. So 4 individuals who have served all as fire chiefs. No? Mr. McNeil was not a chief. But, oh, okay, I know who you're talking about now. Okay. We have had a number of individuals who have served as fire chief and who have served as volunteers in our fire departments. The four folks who have been referenced. So we would like to have a moment of silence in memory of their dedication to the township. Thank you, and the board certainly extends its sympathy to their family and friends. And on that note, do we now have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second? Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.